Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my humble home in Livingston, Montana. Okay, I have got a childhood story I want to tell you. So if you don't like my storytelling, I would highly invite you to escape and go do something more important or whatever have you. But to add some meat or to enhance this story, I'm going to show you a rifle. See that right over my left shoulder over here? That is not a BB gun. It is not a firearm. It is an air rifle, okay? It is what do they call them? Air percussion rifles. This particular rifle over here is an RWS made in Germany. It shoots a 14 grain projectile at about 800 feet a second. I mean, this is really nothing to fool around. It's not in the same class at all as a BB gun, which I'll be talking about here in a minute. Let me show you this, just for the heck of it, okay? Okay, like I say, this is an RWS. It's really, really heavy. I mean, this doggone thing is probably heavier than a hunting rifle, you know. But it is an air rifle, and right in here, you can't see it, but there's a big air chamber, and it's a side loader. In other words, it gets cocked. It gets that compression cylinder in there gets compressed with this handle right here, okay? And first of all, well, let me make sure you get a good look at this, because the story I'm going to tell doesn't involve anything like this. That's what I'm getting at. Okay, I'm going to cock this and put this little guy right here in there. This is just a little cleaning pellet, because every time that you cock this guy, you got to fire it. Otherwise, you'll wear that main spring out in that compression chamber, okay, that builds up the pressure that shoots the pellet. I like to use RWS pellets. Here's one right here, and I know my autofocus won't work. There's the cup that the air catches, and it's got a point on it. These are some really nasty little rounds. I mean, you know, like for gulpers and, you know, varmints and stuff like that. Good out to about 50 yards. I know, So anyway, just to show you this real quick, like, you just take this arm right here like this, and you cock her all the way down to watch. Now you can't see it. Okay, there we go. Now we're cocked all the way down, and you should see this open chamber right here. And I'm going to take this. I'm not going to put a live round in there, by the way. I'll just take this little cleaning tab pellet, if you will, and stick it in here. Okay, there we go. And I'll close this. And after this video's over with, I'll go outside and fire it, because I don't have the time right now. Okay. Now that right there is a true, very powerful pellet rifle, which isn't per se a BB gun. But the story I want to tell, I just threw that sequence in there to, spice this file up here. But the story I want to tell involves one of those, back in the day, I remember my family lived in a place called Boren, Montana. And my folks had bought me a BB gun. It was one of them Daisy Riders or whatever have you, one of them things that you fill the BBs up and you cock it and shoot it and whatever have you. And those things weren't very powerful. They were powerful enough to put out somebody's eyeball and stuff like that. But, they were pretty cheesy. Nothing like what I just showed you. That's a $400. When I bought that from Cabela's, and I paid $400 for that thing. I use it for varmint control around my house here. All right. the Daisy Ride or the Daisy whatever I had probably only cost my parents like $6 or $7. And back in them days, the story that centers around when I was about 13 years old, I've got a sister that lives down in southern Idaho. I've talked about her before. This story centers around just me and her primarily. Okay, my sister was 4 years younger than me. Help me do the math. I would have made her about 10 or 11 years old, something like that. I could be off a few years, for this story I'm going to tell, but who cares? Anyway, on this one particular day, everybody in the house was gone. My mom was gone, my stepdad's gone, all my brothers, and there was just me and my lone sister. And the reason why I say lone sister is because my sister was raised with 5 of us rowdy boys. It's a wonder she's even got her sanity. And I'm probably going to lose a whole bunch of subscribers, and everybody's going to go, oh, that guy's weird by the time I get done telling this story. So pay attention. Excuse me here. Man, I tell you, the air is so fouled up outside and whatnot happening from all these fires around here, I can't even breathe. Well, hey, on this particular day, it was in the summertime. Everybody was gone except for me and my sister. I had that Daisy Rider BB gun that I had was half wore out. I mean, more than half wore out. Here's what it would do. You'd cock it and shoot it, and the BB would just only go out like about 10 feet. It would just go plop on the ground, plop. And I was sitting here before turning on this movie file trying to think about the ratio of how many rounds fired right or were pushed with air out of that BB gun right versus how many weren't. And I'm going to say probably 8 out of every 10 were failures. They just go up there 5 or 6 feet, 10 feet, and I mean, just you could see them, just bloop like that. For all purposes, the spring was wore out. The BB gun was wore out. That's how many times I shot it, Okay, but I said 8 out of 10. The other 2 times the BB gun would actually work. I'd cock it and I'd shake it around, make sure a BB was in there and fire it, and it would fire like it was supposed to, It'd travel out there 20, 30 yards pretty quick like, zip right on out there like, like them old crazy dumb BB guns used to. But like I say, that BB gun is no comparison to this air rifle I just got done showing you. We're talking a whole different ball game here, but I just did that, like I say, to spice things up. So anyway, I'm out in the backyard screwing around with this BB gun, this Daisy Rider thing. And, I'd been shooting around with it and cussing it because it wasn't shooting right. And here come my poor sister wandering outside. I've never forgot this. I'll never forget this till the day I die. Never forget this. Here she was out there picking flowers, minding her own business. And actually, to tell you the truth about her, this kind of makes me want to get a little sentimental in a way, because I was a real heathen back in them days, man. I'm not kidding you, But there she is, minding her own business. Me and her are home alone and everything. And boy, I see her and I think to myself, boy, I'm gonna wake her up, I'm gonna make her day. And so I cocked this stupid little BB gun, this stupid little wore out Daisy Rider thing and everything. And she had her back turned to me and everything. And I took a bead right on the back of her head, kind of on her back of her head, but, right in the neck area, really. And because I knew it was just, the BB was just going to, I was presuming that the BB was just going to go out there and plop, and I was going to go, and laugh and carry on like a big fool and all this other stuff. But the piece the BB gun decided to work on that particular shot. And I go, blam, like that. And that BB just went tearing out of there. And it blasted my sister right in the back of the neck. And the BB actually stuck right there. I mean, I could still see it and everything. And of course, she starts crying and freaking out and everything. And I thought, man, I am screwed. I mean, I'm screwed, I'm blued, and I am tattooed. Because I knew that once my mother found out that I shot my sister in the back of the head with an old dysfunctional BB gun, it wouldn't have made any difference if it was a functional or not. She was going to take out about 1 inch of my hide with a leather belt. Because that was my mother's favorite weapon when I was a kid, leather belt. Really got our attention, you know. So I can't believe this. I still can't believe that story to this day. I get up and I hug my sister and I say, "Oh, it'll be all right, Donnie, and everything. Let me see what I can do for you." And I got her settled down and she kind of stopped crying and everything because it really wasn't that bad of a wound, but I suppose it could have been worse. Okay, granted. And I could see this BB, you know, because I could see the copper sticking out about it, you know. And I know a lot of you people are going to go, boy, this guy here is a real criminal. But I had to do something, man. I just couldn't let this situation ride and hope that things would get better. Are you hearing me? Things were about to get worse if I didn't do something. So I pulled out my trusty jackknife, my trusty $1 Imperial jackknife. You guys know what I'm talking about. Sure you do. So I opened up that jackknife and I told Donnie, I said, "Be real still here, Donnie. I'll fix you up, you know." And so I very carefully dug kind of around that BB and popped it out of her neck. Yeah, do I look like a doctor or something here, man? But yeah, I operated on the back of my sister's noggin, on the back of her head, and popped that little BB out of there, you know, and all that stuff. And I knew this story was not quite over with yet, you know, and I told Donnie, I says, "Well, Donnie," I says, "are you gonna," you know, I was all, you know, dang near down on my knees begging that she wouldn't tell Mom, you know, when Mom came home. Because I guarantee you, I would have danced down the street with Leather. Me, my mom, and Leather would have danced. Trust me on this. Anyway, Donnie says, "No, I won't tell Mom," and everything. She was probably amazed that she was getting some halfway good attention instead of getting teased all the time and had harassed by her 4 other brothers, including me, and whatnot have you. And I thought to myself, this ain't never going to work. She'll think me off. She'll tell Mom. And I don't remember if I put a Band-Aid, my sister probably does. She doesn't even know I'm telling the story, by the way, but she'll watch this video. I don't know if I put a Band-Aid on there or how I covered up the wound, but it wasn't a real bad wound, guys, you know what I mean? But nevertheless, enough to wake her up and make her cry and make me get out on my, you know, make me, you know, make sure that, you know, I had my life squared with Jesus. The reason why I'm saying that, because I knew my mom was about ready to kill me. You know, my mom was about ready to put me in the judgment seat and all this other stuff. Well, some time goes by. I want to think about at least 45 minutes or an hour. Nobody showed up at the house, and I'm scared, trembling. I'm just knowing my ass is going to get beat from one end of Ronan, Montana to the other. Anyway, pretty soon here comes the family. You know, I don't know what the hell they'd been off doing, you know, but I just know what I'd been into, which was no good. Anyway, I'm just waiting for my sister to open up her fly trap and tell Mom. And you know, people, she never did tell my mom. And for some reason, if my mom did notice that, Donnie covered for me. My sister covered for me. And I would have bet a dime to a dollar that she was going to think me off for sure, and me and my mom and Jesus and everybody was going to dance. You understand what I mean? And still, my mom died in 2006, and I don't think clear up till the time she died, she knew what I'd really done to Donnie. I don't know, maybe later on in life we broke down and told her. But I guarantee you, if my sister would have pinked me off about that, be shooting my sister in the back of the head with a scroungy old BB gun, I'd have been in for it. And that's basically my story. But my sister never did think me off. I never did get in any trouble and like that. And I don't even remember what I did with that BB gun. I think shortly after that I threw it away or something, But anyway, I just brought that monster out back there to show you that that's a very powerful air rifle, and you more than likely could kill somebody with that if you hit them in the right, like in the temple or something, because that thing right there is nothing like this Daisy Rider BB gun, and that's all there is to it. So that's the end of my story. Sister never finked me off. I never got my derriere, I never got 4 inches of hide, beat off of my derriere or whatever have you. So, Donnie, thank you very much. I've never forgot that story. I know she'll watch this video. And what are we into this? For 16 minutes and 30 seconds? Good Lord. I like to keep these videos short. Anyway, please forgive me, folks, but that's actually what happened, And so that's all there is to it, Okay, take care of yourselves, and we shall see you on down the trail. And adios, my friends. And take care of yourselves and all that good stuff. Bye.